Hello and welcome to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection since 1991. My name is Pete Cotter. I'm your show's host, and some divergent but very interesting information to come to you today. We're going to have very shortly three guys who are representing the Owatonna Forward organization and some of the things that are happening there. We're going to have Roger Warehime, Terrence, Flynn, and Reid Stransky, who are going to be talking about the proposed brewpub for Owatonna. And then we're going to have Kay Oberle and Samantha Schwartz from Steele County Transitional Housing of Steele County to talk about what's happening with transitional housing. As a reminder, always, we do appreciate any information that you can bring to us regarding people who need some recognition, or if you have an event that you'd like to have some publicity noted, please let us know of that by contacting us at owatonnatoday@charter.net or by calling Leanne at 390-5751. We're going to take a quick break for some messages from our sponsors, and then we'll be back with the three guys. So please do stay tuned.
Hi, this is Nick Paler from Turtle Creek Nursery and Landscaping. Come see our wide variety of plants. Proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, I'm Rick Smith, Golf Course Superintendent of the Brooktree Golf Course. Brooktree is an 18-hole championship golf course featuring well-manicured greens, tees, and fairways. We are open to the public. I challenge you to find a better maintained golf course for the money we charge here at Brooktree. Come on out and play Brooktree, a great golf course.
Hi, I'm Betsy Linger from the Owatonna Foundation. Your generosity has made Owatonna a better place to live by benefiting our community, the arts, recreation, and education. Please consider a donation today. The Owatonna Foundation is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection, and welcome to Roger, Terrence, and Reid, fondly known during the break as the Three Amigos. Welcome, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Thank you.
We're going to hear about something that's a derivative, perhaps, of the recent Owatonna Forward initiative, and as kind of an offshoot of that. Interested in knowing about your guys' involvement, certainly with the Owatonna Forward, and then we'll get into the brewpub thing and how that all has transformed. But, Roger, I know you were one of our steward. Reid, I guess you are as well.
Yep.
Okay. Terrence, you're going to be held on to as the brewmaster.
Correct.
Correct. Okay, so tell us about Owatonna Forward and how this all came to be.
Exactly. Reid and I are two of about 25 stewards that have been working with Owatonna Forward, and we were both on the public input team. And so we were out in the community talking with a lot of people, and we did about 20 input sessions where we did a SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And we kept hearing brewpub. That's what people wanted. But that's not all we heard. We also heard, from the strength side that people in this community support things, and there's an entrepreneurial spirit, and there's a strong desire to see downtown revitalized. And so with hearing that, we started talking, and along with Seth Madole, who was also a steward, and came up with this idea of a cooperatively owned brewpub. And none of us are brewers, and so we decided we should go talk to the home brewers group, and that's when we got Terrence involved in it.
Yeah, good, wonderful. Yeah. So the prospect of all of this, in terms of, and this is interesting because on Monday we had Shirley Schultz with us to talk about Main Street, the Main Street program, and the things that are happening there. And I made the comment about community is not just about government. Community is about community, about people, and you guys really are talking in a real way about making something happen in our town, but in a non-governmental way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the idea of a brewpub has obviously been on the table, and tell us about how you're processing that. The things that you got to do to make this a reality.
Go ahead.
You want me to go? Well, we know it's a long process, and we have a lot of work ahead of us. Our goal is to open in April 2018. And the first steps that we're doing right now are actually selecting the name, because you need the name to do all your filings and branding and things like that, along with writing the bylaws on what the cooperative is going to be. And so we'll get those two steps going. Meanwhile, we're starting to work on the business plan and the elements that go into that business plan, specifically cost and buildings and things like that. So a lot of that stuff is going on right now. And with the cooperative, taking whatever help we can get, we can kind of divide those tasks up.
Yeah, good. Reid, talk about the cooperative if you can, just a bit. Why that? Why that?
The cooperative idea, what I personally like about it is anybody that has ever started a business on their own, you realize that all that risk is all on you. And there's been a lot of people that have started businesses, whether it was in the service industry or not, that put their life savings into it, and if it didn't go well, they had nothing left. And if someone came in, a single investor, and started a brew pub, brew pubs are popular right now, but we wanted to have something that was sustainable for a long period of time. And the brew pub idea, the novelty of it after they're around for 5 years, is any new business, it wears off. So what's going to keep this popular 10, 15 years down the road? And obviously, number one, a good product and good service. But with a co-op, instead of just having that one investor that you want the community to come and support, we're going to have hundreds of investors, hundreds of owners. And every single one of those owners has family, friends, and neighbors. And as you know, that support. And when you get that many co-op owners and all those people supporting them, that to me is going to make this a long-term success.
So what you're doing is building a network.
Correct.
And maybe a vast network.
Yep, hopefully.
Because it doesn't mean if you're a shareholder, really, as a part of a cooperative, you can have people in Washington, D.C. who might be investors, and all of that, Brewpub suggests something that's a little bit more than a tavern, Terrence, talk about the pub concept.
Well, the Brewpub is really, it's the business model as far as opposed to a brewery. Brewery enables you to distribute and sell your product somewhere else. The Brewpub allows you have it on site, you brew on site, you have food, restaurant. You can bring other people's product in, whether it's wine for people that aren't beer drinkers, or just other breweries and have their beer on tap as a guest tap. It allows more flexibility for the business, and it in turn then it helps it to keep growing and continue on and sustain, because you're not so rigid in your plan.
Right. Knowing something about pubs, as our daughter lives in England, it is a pub there is very family friendly.
Yes.
Is there going to be that model that's going to be?
Absolutely, that's the plan, the hope, and desire. We want it to be someplace where anybody can come down to, which is another part of the co-op program or
the
idea is this is someplace for the people, and where everybody can keep going.
Sure. So I can come in at lunch, I can get a panini, let's say, and whatever the food, in other words, and soft drink if I choose, or whatever the case is, and that's going to be available for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's good. Sites, Roger. Of course, your other job is you're involved with the community in a big way. So talk about the site selection.
Yeah, I might let Reid talk about that a little bit, because I talked about dividing up the duties, and Reid and Seth have really been leading the area of finding the right site.
All right.
Yep. We've looked at numerous sites, not only downtown, but in other areas around the community. But because revitalizing downtown was such an important part, it kind of narrowed the selection down to the possibilities that were downtown. There was a site we looked at that had nothing on it that we looked at building, And then we also looked at the old Bubba's building. And the Bubba's building, the first glance at it, there's some of us that liked it, some of us weren't sure. We got some cost estimates of remodeling the building. They kind of shocked us at first because we were going to remodel both floors. Then one afternoon we were down there with Scott Mose and Greg Kruschke, and we said, well, to cut that remodeling cost in half is take out that second floor and not have to remodel the whole floor and the ceiling of the first floor and open it up. Well, that Bubba's building, as most people know from town, was the old People's Press. And so the back 20 feet of the building is concrete, second floor. Perfect place. Then these guys came in and looked at it and said it'd be a great place to put the brew equipment up on the second floor, leave it all open so you'd have vaulted ceilings. We've got some engineers from Mankato that are drawing up some designs and pictures, look very promising. They'll be open to the public here soon. And it's kind of looking like Bubba's is going to be our new home.
Cool. And that building is owned by the city, I think, right now,
That's
isn't
the
it?
other positive
Okay.
is we're working with the city, and the city's working with us to make this happen.
Right. We should talk a little bit about the naming of the place, because I know that's a big deal, and you kind of are sifting some suggested names.
Well, last Thursday, we had a community meeting where we had about 84 names that we had submitted to us, and we went through those with the process and got it down to 5, which we posted on our Facebook site. And we're asking people to vote basically with a comment about which one they like. And so we do want people to go out and hit our Facebook site, which is Owatonna Brewpub, and find where we talk about the 5 finalists and the names and pick which one is your favorite.
All right. Can you say what the 5 are?
Sure. Foremost Brewing was one, then Straight River, and the Steele Tap, Healing Waters, and
The fifth one.
Or is that fifth?
it was.
This would be the one that'll be selected.
Steel Hoop
Steel
Cooperative.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, cool. So Terrence, the product is going to be, will be multifaceted, you know, I mean, you can, there were some different brews, I know that.
Yeah, you know, the product, you know, is going to be, should be a consistent and a good product. There's certain beers that people expect when they go into any brew pub, as far as a choice and what you have. And then, but that product can always change seasonally.
Sure.
You can do, you know, staples and have those available.
Yeah.
And then depending upon, you know, what is coming up, you know, if it's fall or, you know, Christmas kind of has their own seasonal beers, and in the spring and summer beers, you can change that. You know, the beer can change just as easily as the menu could change, and kind of flow through the year and work well with each other.
Good. So obviously, you know, if you're going to have a complete deal, you know, menu and the whole 9 yards, employees, it's going to be a source of employment.
Yes.
You know, so economic development, again, revitalization downtown, including the idea that jobs are going to be available as well. Yeah. Thinking of opening again, you'd like to have this all completed by when?
April 2018.
Of next year, so we're about a year out.
Yep.
Okay, well, it's going to be fun to watch the iterations as they go forward. I suspect that maybe we have another meeting of this group coming,
Sure.
the Three
Yeah,
Amigos,
sure.
and tell
Right.
us how things are coming along.
And also would like, if people would like to send a email to owatonnabrewpub@gmail.com.
Okay.
We'll make sure we get you on the list, and then when updates come out or future meetings and so on, we can let people know. So.
Okay.
How does one become part of the co-op?
It'll be, I mean, we're not there yet, but you'll basically sign up, and there'll be a very small membership fee, probably $150, something like that. That's your capital investment into it.
All right.
And there will be more, but we probably don't have time to talk about it here, so
Yeah.
you're going to have to invite us back again.
Yeah, we are. We certainly will. We certainly will. Yeah, good. Well, and that's a good place to stop for today, and we will. Thanks for being here, sharing what you have, what you
for
know,
having us.
and it's an exciting situation that you're bringing forward. So we'll keep our eyes open, our ears open for that. So thanks again for being here.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
And
Thank you,
thank
sir.
you for being with us today. We're going to take a break with some sponsor messages, and then we'll be back with Kay and Samantha. Stay with us.
Hi, my name is Ryan Gillespie with Bremer Bank Mortgage. By trusting your home loan needs to Bremer Bank, you are guaranteed a personalized, straightforward, and honest experience from application to closing. We look forward to guiding you through your next home purchase or refinance.
I didn't just want another job, I wanted a career, so I expressed myself.
I was new to town and I didn't know where to turn for a job, so I decided to express myself.
I decided to express myself, and they helped find the right career for me.
Express Employment Professionals is in contact with thousands of companies in need of quality employees. Come in now and get the job you deserve.
Express yourself today.
Since 1988, the Owatonna Area Business Development Center has been the part of the success of many area businesses. The center leases office space and manufacturing space and offers on-site business consulting. The Owatonna Area Business Development Center is in business to help your business be a success.
Hi, I'm Jody Voisin with the staff at Fairview Animal Medical Center, your other family doctor. Fairview Animal Medical Center is a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
I'm Dan Branstead of Carlson Branstead & Company, Certified Public Accountants. We support the Owatonna Today Show.
Well, welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection, and welcome to Kay Oberle and Samantha Schwartz, who are representing Transitional Housing of Steele County. I have it said properly.
That's
well, so many times we want to say first Steele County with things, so in
Right.
this case it's Transitional Housing of Steele County, and so Kay, a board member, and how long have you been on the board?
I've been on the board a little over 3 years, and the reason I decided I really wanted to be a board member is years ago I was on the United Way board, and we went to Transitional Housing, you know, as a recipient of funds from the United Way, and the program is fantastic the way they operate. You know, the clients can be on the program for 2 years. They need to learn how to budget, you know, take part of getting a job, education, that sort of thing. So I felt that, you know, they keep track of them and work with them and that sort of thing. So it really isn't just giving out money. It's working with the clients so that they you know, learn how to get off the program and be on their own.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you know, it's stability, isn't
Right,
it? Really
yeah,
forcing that stability issue and filling some gaps that may have.
Right, and they want to do that.
Yeah.
You know, it's people want to be able to do that.
Yeah,
So so I like the program the way it's set up.
Well, excellent. How many clients? You know, I know it ebbs and flows.
It does. 20 that are on the. We have 20 right now that are on the 2-year program where, you know, they go through, they can stay on for 2 years. But there's a lot of other people, I think, that get emergency assistance, one-time things, that sort of thing. Yeah. And I know we have 30 people on our waiting list, which is obviously seems to be what we have, but we can only work with the money we have and, you know, the staff we have too.
Okay. So. Surely. And we're going to come back to, you know, sources of clients and so forth. Yeah. Samantha, a protege. Sometimes we say a mentee, but you're a protege. Why? You're in high school, you're at OHS? And why are you here? I mean, why would you want to be involved in this organization?
I had a representative, Julie Anderson, come in from Transitional Housing and talk to my youth service leadership class. Okay. And what she said really struck me. It's a big problem, homelessness is. And I thought instantly, there's something I can do. And so I wanted to learn what I could do by doing a mentorship with Julie Anderson through Transitional Housing.
Yeah. What does it entail, your mentorship?
I get to meet with some of the clients as long as I have permission. Sure. And I do a lot of phone calls, answering phones, and I have recently been able to inform one of the clients that we will be assisting them with eviction prevention. So that was a very cool phone call to make.
I'll bet, yeah. Now, your time, the time you spend, if you're in school, of course, and I don't know about schedule so much anymore, but do you come to the office on a daily basis, or?
It's Probably about 2 times a week, where I go out at the end of the school day and meet with Julie, and we just go over different items on the plate, on the to-do list, and get those figured out.
Okay, so you're behind the scenes in a lot of ways. But
Yes.
principally doing some things to help Julie, and there's another staff member I think as well, a couple of staff members that are there. Yeah. So Kay, the transitional housing of Steele County, transitional housing of Steele County, been in so-called business now for
since 2000. A group of some churches and citizens that noticed that there was a need for that we have people that were homeless, and there was a need to help them out, that sort of thing. So it's been since 2000.
Right. The clients are coming to you principally from locally, i.e. from throughout the county, or do we have people that come into the county who are needing service?
I think they would be in the county. I mean, maybe they've come to the county, but they would be in the county. But I think, well, right now we know that there's homeless children, a lot of homeless children that we kind of concerned about. I mean, there always has been probably. That kids that are maybe living in their cars or going from couch to couch, that sort of thing. Since I've been on the board, you start noticing people that early in the morning, somebody's walking around downtown with a blanket over them, and you think, oh my gosh, you know, they must be homeless. You know, you start noticing that when you're on the board more than maybe you did before.
You know, you've been in Owatonna for quite a long time, and some might think, well, Owatonna is not the place that homeless people would exist. You know, would be.
It's just the same as any place else.
Any place else,
I think we have.
And you know, it's the heartstrings are tugged with children, aren't they?
Yeah, they sure are. Yeah, I'm thinking of a child living in their car, or you know, I mean, the parents want to do the best for them. I don't think it's a problem, but they've had different health issues or abusive relationships. There's different issues that bring them to be in the homeless state, so that they can't help.
Does the organization have mostly nuclear families that come for assistance, or would there be other categories that would seem to have more service?
I'm not just positive on how it goes. There is a family type of that you see a lot of, but there's some single people too, I think, that help.
Right. Yeah. So the facilities, and Samantha, maybe you can talk a bit about it. You know, what sorts of places are clients of transitional housing occupying?
So they typically occupy Section 8 or HUD housing.
Okay.
But I think one of our main challenges right now that we're facing is there's just simply not enough housing in Owatonna or Steele County.
Okay.
So that's one of our main struggles. But typically, transitional housing candidates will be found in Section 8 or HUD housing.
Okay, and for those that are unable to find, what alternatives then are there for them? You know, where do they go?
They stick to what they were doing previously, which is sleeping in their car, couch hopping, staying with other family, until we are able to assist them.
It's sad. It's really, it's heart-wrenching.
Right. Or sleeping under a bridge. I saw somebody there the other last year. I thought, oh, shoot.
You know, there's that whole idea of under. You know, I don't see people sleeping under, and we have no bridges right now. But
we do.
Yeah.
I have seen it.
Yeah. Vouchers. You know, so in the event that someone is not able to be placed in a facility per se, an apartment or a room. And are there other ways that they might take hotel space or something along that line?
Well, I know we have some kind of an emergency assistance, you know, that sort of thing. So, but they also would be referred to human services, I'm sure, who can help with some of that sort of thing too, if we can't.
Right.
And that's kind of how the whole thing goes, I think, with the clothesline and the food shelf and all that kind of work all together a bit.
Certainly, you know, I would guess that there is a primary source, and maybe it's Steele County Human Services, Mid-Prairie, that would be primarily involved with these folks, helping them. But then transitional housing has a gap, in the gap, where there's a puzzle piece to
Right.
this whole thing.
Yeah, and we're able to work, as working for the county before, I think we're able to work closer. We have fewer people that are in our program, and we can really help them for them to learn how to do, like our caseworker helps with budgeting, and kind of on a one-to-one.
Right.
Min Prairie has so many people that they have to work with that it's harder for them to be on a one-to-one basis, I think. So I think this is really helpful.
There are success cases, and every year when Transitional Housing has its fundraising activities, we always have people who come to speak, and it's heartwarming to know that the possibility is really, there's fruit to be born.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's really, I had somebody on my table last year that said, how come I didn't know about this transitional housing and the need there is? So many people aren't aware of transitional housing or the need.
Sure. Well, this little 10-minute show of ours may help to bring some of that information, some education to a greater audience. And thank you for bringing what you did. There are more pieces to be brought forward, and I expect that maybe later on we can do this again. But I do thank you not only for your work, and best wishes to you, Samantha.
Thank you.
You've chosen well, and good luck to you as you complete your high school education. And thank you for being with us today for this particular segment. And we're going to take a few minutes for some sponsor messages, and then we'll be right back. So please do stay with us.
Cedar Valley Services, located at the corner of Rose and Grove in Owatonna, provides an array of services for people with disabilities in Steele County. CVS thanks the entire community, especially our business customers, for supporting us in Owatonna for 43 years. Thank you from CVS.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection. We've got some announcements to read for you today. First, Habitat for Humanity of Steele County of Steele-Waseca area is hosting a volunteer appreciation breakfast on Thursday, May 25th from 6:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. at Trinity Lutheran Church in Owatonna. To reserve a spot, call Ellen at 507-446-0112, extension 2. Movies in the Park upcoming, the first one on June 16th, Friday. It's Trolls. Movies will begin at sunset. Pre-movie activities will begin an hour before the movie time. Thank you to the sponsors, ERA Gillespie Real Estate, Connie Knudsen, and Go for Sport. LTO announces its 2017-18 play schedule, and we'll talk about the fall play, Shrek the Musical, directed by Sandy Hardy Hagen. And that's going to take care of our announcements for today. Please do come back on Friday, when we'll have John Hammer to speak on Smokin' in Steel and Bonnie Kruger from the Owatonna Public Library. Thanks for being with us, and we'll look forward to having you back on Friday.